Okay, Teddy, we're going to go back to 1975.
1975, Mommy.
1975.
Why are we going there?
Imagine you're an 11-year-old boy.
Oh, okay.
It's your first time being on an airplane.
Oh, my God.
A little four-seater.
Airplane.
Yeah, and you're excited. You know why you're excited, Teddy?
Like an airplane that goes in the sky. Why?
Because you're on your way to an island.
An island?
An island, because you did
Me?
such a good job in your physical education gym class.
I was a good little 11-year-old active
You were.
boy.
Your gym teacher's like, hey, we're going to take you to this island because my Uncle Richard, he owns it. And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
It's going to be great. You're gonna
Uncle
love
Richard
it.
Kynes.
Yeah, and you're going to be there for
I mean,
like
if
a
we
week.
imagine it.
And your parents, they said it's okay because, hey, it's 1975.
It's like camp for strong boys like me.
Exactly. And boys who aren't talkers. You would
I would
definitely
love
be one of those
that.
candidates.
I would
yeah.
love that. I wish I had friends.
Yeah.
I make them right now.
But we're on this island, and imagine it goes terribly wrong.
The island sinks.
No. Even worse.
Something like a Pompeii, like a volcano.
Even worse.
I'm part of an international sex ring.
Exactly.
What? Well, I mean, it's not as bad as volcano.
I mean, this
But it's still pretty terrible. Why? I don't want to imagine this.
volcano's pretty instant death. I'm sorry.
Volcano. Tommy Lee Jones probably wasn't alive right then and there.
All right, I'm sorry to make you imagine it, but that's what you're going to have to do, Teddy, because we got some rough stuff to deal in this episode. And I also want you to imagine just real quick.
What? I'm sick of imagining these gross things.
Imagine that sex ring that you're connected with, this pedophile network,
Ah.
somehow leads to the death of JonBenet Ramsey.
Oh my God. The pedophile sex ring possibly is connected to JonBenet's and her untimely death.
The purchase of an island in 1960 possibly led to, 36 years later, the death of our subject of our podcast. So
Shut the fuck up!
We're going to explore
Bobby,
that.
we gotta tell me about it.
We're going to do it. You ready?
We're doing it now.
Yeah, let's do it
Yeah,
now.
I'm ready.
All right. Well, hey, I'm Bobby Pavlovsky.
And I'm Teddy Ronald Reagan Despair.
And this is
JonBenet Todet.
Episode 25.
Episode 25.
We made it. Where the fuck is Donna?
She apparently had better things to do. She don't care, Bobby. She don't care about this and
What'd
about you. Like you think she care about you.
I'm just saying, what'd you do?
She don't respect. Well, so we was out doing some errands, running errands. I wanted to go to the zoo in the morning. I want to be the first person in the park. So we got there around 4 a.m. They opened around
At
7.
the zoo?
7:30.
You got there at 4 a.m.?
Yeah, the zoo opens around 4.
You want to be the first one. What benefit do you think that grants you being the first one in the zoo?
Because it's important when you think of it from the perspective and the point of views of the animals, of really setting up what their day is going to be.
Did anyone else show up behind you before you entered the zoo?
No, Bobby.
Of course not.
No.
So,
But that don't mean that I shouldn't do everything I can, and that's the best idea I had. I mean, I can't go through life just being criticized for me doing the best thing that the moment called for. We were there in the parking lot. We had our cans of fish and mussels.
you can't bring fish into the goddamn
We was eating
zoo.
it while we were waiting.
Oh, you were
Yeah, they've got porta potties out there. So
Is Donna just you now? I'm sorry. So you still haven't got to the point of where she's at.
Well, no, then we went into the zoo and we was going and we looked at the exhibits. I want to see the animals, monkeys, things like that. And bonobos, flamingos. And I mean, they've even got bison.
Yeah, it's a zoo.
It's amazing.
It's an animal prison. Fun.
So it's like when
Keep
I'm
going.
the first human being that bison sees that day.
Can you get to the point? Where's Donna?
All right, so then we were in the orangutan exhibit, and Donna can attest to it. She heard it. She heard it, and she heard what the orangutan said to me.
Said to you?
Yeah.
Said?
This woman orangutan. She was
Said?
big. She had big orangutan titties.
What do you mean you said?
She spoke to me with her lips. Her lips move. It wasn't like
So it's not.
it wasn't telekinetic. She sounded like
This
Julia
was out loud,
Louis-Dreyfus.
and Donna heard it.
Donna heard her.
And the only witness is not here. Keep going.
Yeah, and she looked me in the eyes. The orangutan, not Donna.
Yeah.
Though she looks like an orangutan. Anyway, that's how we joke. And the orangutan shed a tear for me, and it said, "Your society is a cage." It did, Bobby. No, it was tremendous. She's in a cage.
Yeah.
It's significant. It
She
says
doesn't know
something.
a lot. I mean, I guess she does. I was gonna say she doesn't know a lot about our society because she's in a cage. But I'm like, actually, by her being in a cage, she probably knows a lot, especially when she sees all these fucking
So
idiots
perceptive.
going through, like seeing the glass and like all their excited,
Every
stupid
day.
faces.
Exactly.
I would just dedicate all my time to just throwing shit at that glass, jerking off.
Then I gave the orangutan a knife.
What?
I threw it over the fence.
Why did you have it?
Because I always have it.
Gotcha.
I like the angles too. It makes me think it's like a sports car of death.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was like, you know what? I know she knows what to do with this. And yada, yada, yada. Seinfeld fucking X amount of time later, she escaped from the zoo.
Donna or the orangutan?
Oh, both. But that's another story.
No.
I was trying to lock her in the food court amidst the panic.
I just
tried
want to know
lock her
where
in there.
Donna is now.
There was food she could eat. She would live a day.
Teddy.
Anyway, orangutan ran loose. May have slashed the leg of a little girl. Hadn't been seen. We left because they told us, not because we did something and we wanted to get away from a scene.
They haven't figured out you gave the orangutan a knife yet.
No, they never will. They shouldn't. They cut the circuits.
They'll check the
They cut the
footage.
cords. It was a whole Jurassic Park kind of situation.
They cut the cords?
Yeah, animals were ready to start to come out of the electric fences. It was crazy.
What do you mean they cut the
I'm
cords?
saying there was almost a Jurassic Park at the zoo
Who
today.
cut the cords?
The orangutan. Anyway, I'm trying to tell a story, Bobby. And we left, and she said, "Oh, I have to go to CVS, which is a pharmacy. It's a pharmacy. It's a place
This
where
story could have started at CVS, but go ahead.
she had to pick up a prescription." And she was waiting, and I had to wait, and she wasn't giving me no money to buy nothing, you know.
Why would she?
I wonder, because when we go to the Walgreens or CVS, she gives me some spending money. She lets me buy a couple things.
Oh, my God.
You know, sometimes it's a stuffed animal. Sometimes, you know, it's
I don't care
rubbing
what it is. Where's she
alcohol.
at? So she didn't give you money.
So she was there. She didn't give me money. I didn't want to stay. I wanted to come here and record an episode of JonBenet Ramsey. And
Teddy, did you steal her car?
oh yeah, maybe I took a car.
You just left her at CVS.
Well, I was gonna walk, but then when I walked past the alley of CVS, I saw that fucking monkey. I saw the orangutan with the knife. She'd made it there. She'd been following my scent, Bobby.
Oh my God! Unfortunately, it was relevant.
Oh my God.
Okay.
She locked eyes with me. I was paralyzed. I pissed my pants.
Yeah.
I was just like Liam Neeson. It was terrifying.
Okay. And then, so you just left.
Well, then, yeah, and that's when I decided to make the
And you didn't contact her at all.
the directional the decision, the executive's decision to just take her car and she can get here, she can walk. Maybe she'll befriend that monkey that looks like her, that orangutan. You know?
She's gonna get stabbed by that monkey for sure.
Well, that's not my problem, is it, Bobby?
I mean, it kind of is.
No.
All right. Well, then I guess we should get started, huh?
Well, we better. Might be an orangutan potentially tracking my scent right now and making its way here. So, I don't know. If there's a knock at the door, just be careful.
All right. Well,
Just be
this is
careful.
a little
I
better.
don't want to fucking die today. That orangutan's scary.
Well, maybe don't give it a fucking knife.
I know. Oh, shit. I do some funny things like that. But that's all right. We have a good time, right, Bobby?
Yeah.
We sure do.
Okay. We took a break here because look who showed up.
Oh, wonderful.
We were
I'm
just
so
talking about
thrilled.
it. Your ears must have been
Okay.
burning, or the soles of your feet from walking here. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Well, she has a lot of yeast issues, so she's always burning.
Jesus.
She's disgusting.
Listen, I don't know. Something happened to my car.
Yeah, sorry, Donna. I had to get out of the way, out of harm's way from a wild animal, and dead set on killing me.
Yeah. What's this? The monkey talked
Oh,
to you
yeah?
guys?
No.
He said you heard it.
Unky, it was crazy.
Oh my God!
Nice.
You heard
That's
it?
exactly.
It was crazy.
You
Yeah.
did
I
hear
thought
it.
it was the wind, like a whisper.
Didn't she-
And then I was like, I looked at Teddy. I'm like, Teddy, was that real?
Yeah.
And you're like,
Yeah.
And at what
was.
point were you aiding him in getting a knife to the orangutan?
Well,
Well, I didn't know. I didn't know about that.
she didn't know about it, but I kept
didn't
it
know
in her
about
bag.
that.
Did you encounter the monkey on your way here?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, you're just lucky that you didn't come face to face with the orangutan because I've done it twice today.
All right.
It's like, what? Why did you steal my car then?
Well,
Get here, you fucking oaf.
just
Okay.
God!
just to catch you
You
up
could
to
have waited for me. Okay,
just to catch you up to speed here, okay? Teddy introduced me to a TikTok last week that was basically highlighting this theory that John's father, John Ramsey's father, was somehow involved in this North Fox Island pedophile ring.
He wants to blame it on a foreign faction, but we should really explore what his father knew about this island. Because if there was a foreign faction involved, it may have had to do with this.
And it was like, wait, what is this? And it was like, I looked into it briefly and I was like, John was in the military. I don't think it's whatever.
Peta-ass ring. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
But then another Reddit post happened, and I was like, all right, well, we had a different episode planned, but we're going to go ahead and do this. There's been a lot of documentaries about the Oakland County child killer, okay? Troop 137. There's really good YouTube ones that we're actually going to cite.
Oh.
One of them is the channel Sad But True. They have a video on North Fox that we're going to link here. It's really good.
Oh.
And then also this Detroit news team, Local 4.
Detroit's got news. It's a
Did
team.
this really long investigative series into this, and they're fantastic. We're also going to link that here too. But what we're going to do here is we're specifically looking how this case relates to JonBenet Ramsey, okay?
Okay.
And we know basically that the Ramseys have a vacation home in Charlevoix, okay?
In Charlevoix, Michigan.
And a lot of our story is going to take place just off the coast of Charlevoix here. Here's a little visual map for you guys to see. All right, so there's Charlevoix, okay? And then here's North Fox Island, okay? And this is the Bay Area, all right?
Okay, yeah.
We know the Ramseys have a vacation, home in this area. Here's some local people from that area describing the area at the time. And again, we're going back to 1970s here is what we're doing.
Oh, wow.
And I just think it's the most beautiful, special place in the world. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else.
Well, this part of Michigan is just viewed as completely delightful. It's God's land and everything. I mean, people are they just marvel at it. Everybody comes up here and wants to stay.
All the old women, they got gray hair, white hair there. It's
retired
an elf township.
Yeah, and it's why the Ramseys probably got, a home there.
Yeah, because it's magical.
Nice and quiet.
Yeah, but it also led one Michigan entrepreneur, if you want to call him, Francis Sheldon. Frank Sheldon also goes by. He didn't. He went to the University of Michigan. And he didn't complete his doctoral thesis, but he'd been active in the exploration for oil in Michigan and in real estate projects with his father and brother, earning a substantial income. And he inherited a considerable amount of his wealth from his father and grandfathers, Henry D. Sheldon and Russell A. Algier.
So
So he had a lot of disposable income. And in 1960, he decides to go ahead and purchase North Fox Island.
the whole island.
He purchased North Fox Island, I believe from Alma Plank, if I remember right, who had owned North Fox and a large part of South Fox. He introduced deer to the island, wanted to have a resort for people who had their own small aircraft, and he had an airfield built over there. And the airport, of course, is the Airstrip was a major thing.
Seems to me it was like 2 or 3 summers by they finally got it done. They had to cut all the trees and then stump it all and then level it.
Oh, it's like building a resort.
Right, yeah.
Fox Highway.
So he bought it in 1960, but the airstrip wasn't set up till 14 years later in 1974. He had some help from these 2 guys. One of them was Gerald Richards. Who's this kind of school teacher who's kind of floated around. He's a creepy guy. We're going to get into him next.
He was in Hey Arnold.
No, not that guy.
Oh.
And then Dyer, this guy named Dyer Grossman, okay? So they help him set up this whole airstrip. They do like this whole thing where they're building the island and stuff like that.
With deer, a deer resort.
And in the
The
United
boss
States.
could have brought like a deer.
You can drown a deer easy, Donna. Stop distracting us.
All right,
Shut up.
fine.
Shut the
They
fuck
can't
up.
go anywhere. If you want to hunt them, it's kind of
Throw them into the fucking water.
I think some of them will swim.
Drown a deer. Grow up.
Anywho, so Francis owns this whole island. He's kind of a shady figure. 1974, they finished the airstrip. All right, 1975, they start up this whole camp. It's basically this insane camp that's supposed to be, it's called Brother Paul's Children's Mission.
Brother Paul was an insane clown posse camp?
And this is the Michigan. What did you say?
It was like ICP? You said it was insane clown posse camp?
Brother Paul's Children's Mission.
Brother Paul's Children's Missions.
And he does that with the help of like Gerald Richards, who I've said.
Oh, yeah.
And this guy's like a school teacher. He's kind of creepy, but like here's some students, former students of his, talking about him.
Kind of like dressed like Mr. Rogers, I guess.
It was really weird when he first got there. Everything started to change right away. We had to all of a sudden start taking showers, and we'd never showered before ever. And his excuse was, "Well, you guys can't be going back to class stinking and whatever." So we had to start bringing towels. We had to take showers, So whatever. And he was just, as far as a gym teacher, he just seemed off. He was real ranky and raily. The guy didn't look like he could have fought his way out of a wet paper bag.
Yeah, he would do the patting on the ass. The only gym teacher I ever had that would be in the shower, in the locker room when we were taking showers.
Oh, God.
Creepy. Oh my God.
This world is
That
so
poor guy,
gross.
he had a twitch.
And he was like he also like was like in the papers as being like this local magician kind of thing.
Not a pedophile magician gym teacher.
And these people met because at the time Francis Sheldon was also writing for a certain magazine, and it was called Better Life Monthly.
Better
Life Monthly, but it was actually a code for Boy Lover magazine.
Jesus fucking God.
And it was here that they started to
I can't take it no more. This world disgusts me.
It was here where they started to advertise stuff like Brother Paul's Children's Mission and other organizations that they have that we'll talk about. There's like a farm in Tennessee.
So they make a magazine that's almost like the Boy Scouts. And then it was a secret boy loving magazine.
There was a culture of people that were interested in, if you will, this arena, that had publications that would identify where you might find a victim, if you will. And there were publications that were promoting this type of behavior as good for the child because they're getting gifts most of the time, they're getting time spent, they're getting love and affection, and there's nothing wrong with that. So it's absolutely good for the child. And there were several, I don't know exactly how many publications from various organizations that we got promoting man-boy associations, man-boy love.
Oh, so the John Mark Camps.
Yeah, like he would have been really embraced among these people. So in this documentary that the Channel 4 do, they talk to two kids that went to the island, two boys. And so they talk about them meeting, Frank Sheldon.
Frank Sheldon was introduced to us as Mr. Richards' uncle. This is my Uncle Frank. So, okay, well, this is Frank, and Frank owns the island and whatever, and we're, so.
Wealthy man. Anybody from that area knew, he was very prominent, wealthy, come from wealthy family, so on. Everything just seemed legit. I mean, it didn't, because my mom, being a single mom, my dad died when I was 5, and I had 3 siblings, so she was very protective. Never saw it coming.
From what I understood, he went to a couple of the other boys and myself's parents and said, these guys did an exceptional job this year in gym class, and as a reward, we'd like to take them up to the island for, I don't remember if it was for a week or 2 weeks or 4 days, or I don't remember that part of it.
Oh, these poor guys, these poor kids.
Right. So then they kind of get, they actually start getting, excited about going. And here's them recounting like actually going to the island.
I remember just taking off, just like rock stars. I'm in a plane, I've never been in a plane before. I'm just a poor kid, lives in the projects. Got lucky enough to get a tuition to a Catholic school. It was really cool.
So I remember we met up. I'm assuming there was a parental slip that was signed or something. I don't remember that part of it. But I know we went to St. Clair County Airport. All the family showed up with the parents and the kids. We all said, yep, got on the plane, and away we went.
They deceived them. Wow.
And then so it's this is gonna be kind of rough here. So trigger warning for anybody here. But so here's them when they actually get to the island.
And I remember landing. I remember getting our stuff, getting our cabin, and within an hour we were naked on the beach. That's just how it was. If you live on an island, this is how they do it. In islands. So. Okay. Again, 11 years old, I assume I was protected. That's my gym teacher right there.
Hey guys, let's go skinny dipping. And then to me it was weird because it's supposed to be dark when you go skinny dipping, Oh, there's no girls around, nobody's gonna see you. Here, watch, So Mr. Richards takes all his clothes off, jumps in the water, swims around. Come on, you guys, it's all right, and whatever. Well, okay, so we all take our swim stuff off, whatever. We jump in and we're all running around naked. Well, hindsight now looking at it, that's pretty wrong. I mean, really off key to be doing anything like that. But they made it so that it was, not they, he, because Frank wasn't there. I don't know if he was up filming us or what he was doing.
I remember seeing, you know, and when I was talking to Mike, we've talked several times on the phone, rehashing things, helping each other remember things. And he remembers as well as I do, seeing cameras. You know, it's like a beach, and to us, you know, we're in the Bahamas, and I remember seeing cameras, but me and the other boys were all naked.
Oh my God.
So there's cameras all over this little island that they've constructed here, and it's nobody knows exactly where the you know. Well, we'll talk about like what's the state of the facility now, but like I also theorize, because I've never seen anybody try to find the bomb shelter. There's supposedly some sort of bomb shelter on this little island.
Of course there is.
Yeah, but I theorize that might have been some sort of weird control room, because, and I don't know if we've said it yet, but this very much mirrors the Epstein case. This was like kind of the first one.
Yeah.
And it was in the U.S.
island.
Yes, this millionaire purchases this
It has
island.
an island. It's got
They start
subterranean things.
Having these boys come to this island is basically like a thing where, you know, they're running it under this mission kind of thing. So,
man, all these people, all this money, and then this is what they do with it.
You just like molest little boys, like Jesus.
Yeah, you know what? No one gets an island. No one's allowed to have an island no more.
right. And then, so what was the thing though? There was a point though, those two dudes, excuse me, those two guys in the documentary, they explain how the one in the hat's like, hey, I want to look at the snake. And they go off and they start looking for the snake. And there's a thing where they're off for a while by themselves, and when they come back, they can't find anybody. Nobody's at any of the cabins. Nobody's down by the beach. And there's like two other boys or whatever that are missing here with the counselors or whatever, the people who run the camp. And they don't know where they're at, kind of thing.
Oh my God.
And so it's like they talk about basically like that when they all did return on like a golf cart, like stuff was a little bit different.
Everybody was talking, but those kids they didn't really talk at all anymore. They didn't say anything. And it was kind of odd, you know, that was just, as a kid though, you're not going, geez, I wonder what the heck's going on with her. It was just, they just seemed a lot quieter.
The one older kid, he didn't talk, he didn't do anything, more like sit at the beach by himself and, you know, down by the water. Of course, Jerry Richards was right there comforting, putting his arm around him, you know, that kind of stuff. I think Mike was the lucky one. Just his natural curiosity to run and, you know, and be a boy and look around, you know, kept him safe, you know, and I'm glad for him. I wasn't as fortunate.
If they took him down to the beach, I don't know where they went. I don't have any idea on that, but from what I gathered from that, they went and molested him and filmed him while Bill and I were gallivanting around the woods.
He asked if I could put some lotion on him. And I was very hesitant, and I knew that I shouldn't do that. He said, well, you know, I did you, and you should do that for me, that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck?
No, what the fuck's island?
Right. And it's taking advantage of these kids. And it's like, you know, they don't understand what's right and like what's wrong.
I sort of dismissed it as, oh, I guess that's just the way it is. Not knowing that, you know, come here, I'll show you this magic trick kind of thing, and, you know, gained his trust, and I liked him. Yeah.
He abused the magic of magic.
Right? He actually was in the International Society of Magicians.
Oh, no.
Oh my God.
I didn't follow up to see if
What
they
a
got
dark
kicked
day.
out. Where it's like, yeah, they got to definitely kick him
ruined
out.
everything.
Some Arrested
Oh my
Development.
God.
He's poisoning the magic.
Right? So,
Wait, do you hear that?
what?
You don't hear a orangutan at the window, do you?
No.
Okay, I was just thinking. No, I thought I heard something. But no, it's okay. I just thought it was.
Honestly, you kind of deserve to live in the fear of that.
I thought, you know,
You created this problem.
Well, just
This
be on
is like a...
be on the lookout, Bobby. Tap. If you hear a
Okay.
tapping of a window, tap.
They get aggressive.
Yeah,
tap.
it could be
Like a
tapping its
fucking
knife
raptor.
at us. Just check. Just be careful. Be mindful. Don't be dumb.
So, you know, those boys left that island, and then we go to 1976. And then Gerald Richards, the gym teacher,
Oh,
that
yeah.
actually quoted these people, he ends up actually getting busted.
Well, it was pretty much a pedophilia, or I guess it was pornography, big deal also. It was also just about everything as it turned out. It just like had its own life after the detective made the original arrest of the school teacher, and we found pictures. That led us to Mount Eagle, Tennessee, which then just expanded after they found the boys' farm down there. And we received boxes of information from them that involved people all over the country, in fact, all over the world.
Holy shit.
God.
Yeah.
They franchised.
Yeah, Richards kind of flipped like pretty much immediately, kind of thing, where he started telling on people, and it became a thing where
Flipped like a burger.
he flipped like a burger. And like what they were just saying there too, the Tennessee farm that was raided, that's related to this weird ass guy who's his name's like Farmer Bud.
Farmer Bud.
Reverend
He
Bud.
sounds normal.
Reverend Bud.
Reverend Bud. Hold on, right? Yeah, well, yeah. His name was Reverend Bud or whatever. Reverend Claudius or whatever. He changed his name a lot or whatever. But he basically, after Gerald Richards got caught, he flipped, and then it basically exposed like, oh, they're also doing the same kind of organization down in this Tennessee thing.
Oh my God.
Because it started under this whole Francis Sheldon created this whole like weird little shell company, and this is where the Sad But True documentary comes in. He does a great explanation of like the organization of the organization.
Francis Sheldon and his associates had incorporated 2 umbrella 501c tax-exempt organizations. If a vetted boy lover wanted to start their own operation, Grossman would arrive and help facilitate this through one of these organizations. Francis Sheldon was legally entitled to keep any surplus money any of his organizations brought in. Each of the umbrella organizations employed a different strategy. The Church of the New Revelation was regularly advertised in Better Life Monthly. Its strategy was to establish religious camps across the country, funded through charitable donations from churches, charity organizations, and private citizens. The second umbrella organization was named the Ocean Living Institute. Its strategy was to build a youth camp and science center. The Ocean Living Institute was advertised in established science magazines. Grossman printed literature which he sent to corporations and universities to solicit donations and support.
What in the True Detective yellow spiral fucking
What was
shit?
Ocean what? What was that called?
Ocean Living Institute.
And
Like,
if
what
you
a
watch
name.
if
Like,
you watch that
that's just,
documentary, he does a great job on explaining all of that. But
Oh, that flow chart is just.
But and that shows how they found ways to get
That's
from
how they
private
going.
citizens and then a whole strategy to get from corporations. It was genius, and people were doing it. Nobody was vetting it. The Brother Paul's mission never ended up. They found out they didn't have like a license to actually like run a camp.
No shit.
So it's like then. So once that happens and he gets busted, and then the farm gets busted, Sheldon fucking dips.
Yeah,
Sheldon's he's out. He knows stuff's gonna happen. The Detroit Free Press does a series of articles that were incredible that basically broke open the whole like ring kind of thing.
Detroit, they got the press, it's free, and they talked about they broke the seal.
They did, and they started pointing out like actual people that were involved with the organization, like millionaires and stuff like that.
Oh my God, it's like Spotlight, but with greasier food.
I mean, it's basically human trafficking.
It is human trafficking, exactly, Donna.
It's awful.
Even it's crystal clear. Even she can see, and she can tell that.
I know, thank you, Teddy.
Yeah, and it's interesting that, I mean, of course, all these shell companies, all start with someone named Sheldon.
Right, and then so this
He's the Don of the shells.
One of these millionaires that were indicted in this whole thing, that was just a person who was visiting the island, kind of like one of Epstein's visitors.
Don't say Adrian Brody.
He was just, he was basically the son of this whole like heir out of like California or something. His name is Richard Jacobs.
Oh.
He also flees, and it's like, so he just gets the fuck out of Dodge.
He's like, oh, I know that. Yeah,
He's named
I'm not gonna
it.
wait for more people to get arrested and outed. Okay.
And it's at this point too, also, that one of the guys that helped start it up, Dyer Grossman, contacts basically Sheldon and tells him, it's like, you got to do something with like these assets or whatever. And I know a guy, and there's this weird motherfucker. His name is Adam Starchild. Here's a picture of him for you.
Oh my God, what in the hell?
He's like he's also like another weird Forrest Gump throughout history.
He looks like the Starchild from Stanley Kubrick's 2001: Space Odyssey.
Is he?
Yeah, he looks like Starchild. He looks kind of like, what's that actor? That Toby Keith?
No,
Cousin
Toby Jones.
Toby
Toby Jones. Yeah, but he was basically like he was a financial consultant, and so they were like, hey, Francis, you need to put all your assets in this dude. He'll help hide it during this whole thing while you're wanted right now because they're looking for you. And so he gives it to this guy. They do all that, They start looking into this whole scandal. Jerry Richardson, the gym teacher, he goes down.
Good as he should.
And then, so this is in 1977 when it's like, it's finally uncovered. All right, 1978. All right, we're going to go ahead and reintroduce, John Ramsey Sr., Mr. James J. Ramsey.
JFK Ramsey.
James J. Ramsey.
James J. Ramsey.
John's dad.
John Ramsey's father.
Mm-hmm. And, he was in the Air Force in like 1944. He did all this stuff. Basically, he came from Nebraska to Michigan to basically serve as the regional administrator of the Federal Civil Defense Administration in Battle Creek.
What?
This was created by, what's his name? What's that president?
Henry S. Truman.
Truman, thank you. Yeah.
Wow.
This was created by Truman. It was like a thing where they wanted to like figure out like, civil defense stuff, strategy. So John's dad, J. Dudley, J. Dudley Ramsey.
Oh my God, like Dudley Do-Right, Donna.
Dudley.
Remember Dudley Do-Right with Sarah Jessica Parker and Brendan Fraser?
So funny.
I swear, they had some of the amazing sexual chemistry.
You know what? They really did.
I mean, and Sarah Jessica Parker and Brendan Fraser and Dudley Do-Right.
Oh, Sarah Jessica Parker has sexual chemistry with anybody.
She did great as the horse.
And Dudley Do-Right, is that what you're saying?
She was the horse.
Oh my God.
Oh, I wasn't catching that.
So, then it was like after that high level position, John Ramsey then gets appointed to the director of the Michigan Department of Aeronautics. This is in 1957.
That sounds official.
Mm-hmm. And that's basically, they're in charge of, putting any sort of airports in. And
he makes airports.
Just a brief intro to him real quick. Because at this point in time, though, we're in 1978, though.
Okay.
His wife dies, which would be John's actual mom.
Oh my God.
1977, okay? And then in 1979, he retires from the Michigan Aeronautics, the commission.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And so we'll go back to him in just a second, okay?
Okay.
But we then move on to 1980. Adam Starchild, the guy that's like in control of all these assets and stuff.
Oh God, his face is so scary.
He gets linked to the ABSCAM scandal.
Oh.
Which is like, where they were bribing all these congressmen and they like caught him on like wiretaps and stuff like that.
Oh my God.
All the corruption.
He of course he's in there because he's a corrupt, anyhow.
These guys are too far apart. Like, let's just, anyway.
I mean, apparently he's smart, but he definitely looks like he's in some shady shit.
He kind of looks like the orangutan.
He looks like he smells like
what?
mustard.
He kind of does.
Man.
Oh my God.
Remember?
Is he telling you that you live in a shelter?
Well, I mean, you listen, I don't need to explain the spirituals of my life. Like,
You gotta be open to it.
Animals come to me when they want to, let go, be violent.
Well, okay, we move on then to 1983 here, okay? Mm-hmm. And Frank Sheldon, the guy that owned the island or whatever, that is a fugitive on the run, okay? He's on the run. They're looking for him. He, in absentia, basically sues the Adam Starchild guy to get his assets back.
Oh.
And wins successfully.
He won.
He wins in the court system as a fugitive.
Oh, wow.
Gets control of all of his assets.
Look at that justice system working for one.
Right?
Yeah.
As he sees he's in the clear, he's like, all right, I think
So
they're not going to catch me.
Got to have his island back from the corrupt guy who bribes politicians.
And then Starchild gets convicted of mail fraud in 1986. Boom, goes to jail, okay? Wow. Then we move on here to 1988, and Jerry Richards, our one guy, the gym teacher, he's been out. He gets arrested for child porn charges again, like a fucking idiot.
How about something?
Yeah, he can't
And
help himself.
also the estate of Richard Jacobs, one of the millionaires that was he was caught because he was one of the ones
Oh,
there
yeah,
that
that's
also
right,
left. His estate tried to rule him dead. A judge rules him legally alive and is like, your estate you can't do it because he's still alive. So they can't get any money of his now that he's, still technically out of bounds, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I also left out, by the way, too, what is it? There was a guy also in 1978 where one of the victim of the Oakland child killers, fathers, basically got interest where he wanted to find out about Chris Bush, who was the son of a General Motors executive, Harold Lee Bush. He had been in custody shortly before the guy's son's abduction for suspected involvement in child pornography. He committed suicide in November 1978. There was no gunshot residue found on him and no blood spatter, and the entry wound was between the eyes, and he was wrapped in sheets, and there were no shell casings.
Oh my God, he probably really actually killed himself then. He was murdered while he was looking for the culprit of his son's disappearance, and the son was possibly disappeared by the son of a General Motors executive.
This was the Oakland thing.
I came across information about the child killings in Oakland County.
This center is serving two purposes right now. One, of course, to find the murderer of Tim King, Jill Robinson, Christine Mihalik, and Mark Stebbins. The other purpose, he thinks, is to prevent another name from getting on that list.
And I've been following a blog by one of the victim's sisters who's kept it going all these years in hopes that those crimes there will be solved, where 4 children were killed and no one's ever been charged with the crime. They do believe, she believes, and others, that there was a connection between Francis Sheldon and Oakland County, at least in the same ring. He may not have been involved in those killings, but part of the same big pornography ring.
Oh,
Goodness.
God, what a terrific
That is wild.
just
They're all
thing that
And
people.
again, he was this millionaire that
poor
frequented
children.
in Michigan. We know, we want to get now to like why it might be related, okay? His dad was also living in Michigan. We know he was serving as the director of the Michigan Aeronautics thing. They
John
basically-
Ramsey's father.
Yeah, and they approved, airports and shit like that. Like the actual bio for him basically says that they almost doubled the amount of airports under his term.
Oh my God.
And allowed like that kind of stuff to go in.
John Ramsey's dad was the guy who got to say where airports got to be put and their runways in the state of Michigan. And during his short tenure, he more than doubled the amount of airports in Michigan.
More than doubled, yeah.
Oh my God. Wow. That's like having SimCity on extreme mode. You know what I mean?
Right.
Really, what he bought it for and installed the land strip for was to run a child pornography operation there. And he had a private jet, and he'd fly kids from Charlevoix to the island and had a filming operation there and had, horrible, horrible things.
His family was very wealthy and owned major properties in the city of Detroit. He was very active in the arena with his friends within the state, and apparently there were several of his friends that would take males to the island. He had an airplane and he would fly him up there and fly him back.
Oh my God.
And
Francis
how
Sheldon.
important that was to it. And I created a little Google Maps thing when I was looking into this case, and I saw that Brother Paul's Children's Mission, just a few minutes from an airport. Francis Sheldon's actual residence in Oakland County, Michigan, just a couple minutes from an airport.
Oh my God.
They were shuttling these kids up through Michigan, it was a thing where there was an airport. There's so many airports.
While these camps and organizations and places and headquarters was being even created and enduring, they were getting airports within 5 minutes of each of them.
When I looked up what the amount of
built
airfields
and approved by the people and the authority that's run by John Ramsey's dad,
and he facilitated all the abuse.
And the amount of airfields I saw within just the bay, Traverse Bay, that leads into there. There's so many. There's so many different options to choose from.
Oh my God!
But so here's one of the victims' fathers of the Oakland child killer talking about this.
Well, I'd never heard of North Fox Island until I got the police reports. But it's apparent to me that no school teacher or TV reporter buys North Fox Island and puts in a runway for airplanes to land to take care of small boys from Detroit that want to see northern Michigan, and then engage in pedophile activities without that being an important part of the news at that time. The Traverse City paper published a very interesting article on it, and after that, silence took over, much like it did in my case. And I guess if you got enough money to buy an island and put in a runway, you got enough money to hide the facts.
Wow, he's so right.
He's so right in more instances than one. You got enough money to hide the facts, and put in a runway becomes easier when you have high up friends, like possibly John Ramsey's father.
Wow. A pioneer in aeronautical runways towards child abuse. destinations. Wow.
So we know he was definitely in charge of the airports at the time. He was a part of another organization that, appointed people that were in charge of airports nationwide.
Oh my God.
The NSAAO. But yeah, we're going to do a deeper dive into the connection next week in part 2. So stick around for that. Like and subscribe. It's a good starter episode for this.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I think so. I mean, I got the chills. It's just terrifying to think that, the criminal underbelly of modern society. We like to think
internationally.
Of the 1%,
internationally.
like of the richest people.
Of the people who think they're above the laws and also make the laws and also break the laws. It just sends a shiver up my spine. And wait.
Did you hear that?
Did you hear that?
Okay, I did actually hear tapping
Did
at
you
the
guys
window.
hear-
What is happening?
Where's that tapping? Where's that? Oh my God! Look!
Is it a monkey?
It's a orangutan!
I'm not
With
gonna
a
look.
knife!
I'm not gonna look. I'm not
At
gonna
the
look.
window!
Donna, is it there? Is it there? I'm
Oh
not
my
gonna look.
God!
Yeah.
She's looking at me!
God damn it!
She's looking at me!
What did you do?
Ah! So be continued. Ah!